I still think about Sweetness and Lightning. I deeply appreciate this rare longevity, as it is evidence that this anime is quantifiably leaving an impact. An anime's value is not just how enjoyable your viewing experience is at the time of consumption, but also what it does to you moving forward. Sweetness and Lightning did something meaningful, and it seems like many missed its simple poignance. It isn't just food porn, and it isn't just a cute fest. I revisited the show to delve into what makes it so special to me even to this day. On a personal level, this was a perfect show to come back to every week, usually after a long day of work. I relished every viewing because of its more tender tone. It utilizes meals as an enriching experience. The food angle attempted in Sweetness and Lightning consists of home cooking that elicits a bonding experience over everything else. It's the pleasure of sharing a meal, even if it's just rice. If it was just as simple as how good the food is, like in Food Wars, it wouldn't bother with contrasting the cooking at Kotori's restaurant to the cooking at home so well. I could see the point if Kohei's cooking was played for comedy, like look how gross Kohei's meals are, what a goof, he can't cook, reaction shot. The first episode does a fantastic job setting up the real pathos of this shaken family and why this cooking means something more. The loss of a mother is an immediately empathetic tragedy, and her illness coming out of the blue has left Kohei alone to raise Tsumugi. It's a very lonely depiction, Tsumugi with a microwavable dinner, eating alone, watching TV while Kohei works long hours as a teacher, even when he is home. These are subtly painful scenes. Tsumugi's need for rationalization at her age is sad and really hurts when she feels as though she should slip into the role of the adult and reassure her father. When he comes home extra late one night and realizes Tsumugi is missing her mother and yet to come grips with her death, he panics and runs to Kotori's restaurant. He realizes he has rarely shared even a single meal with her in months. To maybe think he had been taking every day with Tsumugi for granted scares him. No. Nothing is for sure, nothing is guaranteed, every day is precious as he found out the hard way with his wife. His devotion to his daughter is literally who he is now. This thunderous perspective change he has been given really hits home. That's why these dinners with Kotori are victorious moments, guaranteed to be nostalgic memories they'll remember for the rest of their lives. These are important for Tsumugi's development, and Kohei is wise enough to realize this. He can barely hold in his emotion. This teary-eyed shot is such a complex and real thing. This is not the feigning of satisfaction as she returns half-eaten plates. The food is not only good, but made by her dad. You start to see Tsumugi begin to cherish these meals just as much as her father. When they recreate the curry Tsumugi's mom used to make, it is the food that gets him closer to coming to terms with her sadness. Tsumugi especially comes to a new level of understanding she had yet to let herself comprehend. Mommy is not coming back. The preparations are usually shown at great detail, and those who don't relate could find it boring or just a cooking show. But it's clearly set up that our characters are cherishing every moment. Even these mundane, insignificant things are so important to them. Also, it's so specific that the audience could learn how to cook these dishes just from the show, which is a way of encouraging and inspiring us to have these special moments with the people in our lives. I like that a lot. Let's talk about Kohei's student, Kotori. She has a similar feeling of emptiness as her mother is constantly away. Stemming from another broken family, this time divorce, Kotori reaches out to Kohei and Tsumugi to fill that void. Her mother is someone who failed to realize what Kohei realizes at the end of episode 1. To her credit, she does her best, and she still cooks her great food, but nevertheless, she eats alone. Kotori doesn't have many friends to rely on, so opening up to this family is a big step for her as well. When you have the dynamic of these three relying on each other to better cope with a difficult time in their lives, you really feel all the subtext around just some people enjoying a meal. It's a gentle but commanding hum in the background of all the humdrum scenes preparing and eating dinner. To be fair, a large portion of the runtime is devoted to cute Tsumugi having fun eating food, and it's overflowing in sweetness and innocence. Most of what I discussed before is an element hidden behind the curtain. However unapparent it seems, it is still a very prevalent component to the investment we have for these characters. The mother's death is a constant rumbling storm that at a moment's notice can strike. Hence the sweetness and lightning. We then have to just sit in the rain until it blows over. You can't escape it. Now that's just my interpretation of the title, but it really fits. As feel-good as this anime comes across, there's a very successful sense of realism here that goes beyond what the medium usually attempts. Kohei feels like a real father. Tsumugi is not some perfect kid, shown having temper tantrums, being mean, and making mistakes. It's even more convincing having an actual child voice actor role. Tsumugi's development is the main investment of the show, and even the manga, as she later tackles questions like afterlife. It's a grounded, pleasant, and sad series that is surprisingly adult for how saccharine it comes off in the screencasts and GIFs. I similarly cherish this anime and the experience of watching it again. It'll stick with me, and that's special.